The wind through Gray Ridge was never quiet. On nights like this, it carried whispers, the kind that made the hair rise at the back of your neck. Somewhere near the old railway crossing, a faint sound broke the stillness. A girl's voice trembling, almost inaudible. Sergeant Tom Grayson tightened his coat collar against the chill, his K-9 partner, Rex, at his side. The girl's words weren't a call for help. They were a warning. And whatever Rex was about to uncover would change everything the town thought it knew about safety and trust. The road to Gray Ridge was narrow, bordered by brittle grass and ancient pines that leaned over it like watchers. Sergeant Tom Grayson had driven it hundreds of times, but tonight it felt different, heavier, somehow. The sky was a bruised gray, low clouds pressing down as if to smother sound itself. The radio in his patrol car crackled softly, the static a reminder that in this corner of the county, reception was a luxury. Rex, a German shepherd with coat black as wet stone, sat beside him in perfect stillness. His ears twitched now and then, tracking something invisible in the dark. Tom glanced at him, not for the first time, wondering what his partner sensed. Police training had taught him to trust Rex, but tonight there was an edge in the dog's stance that Tom could not ignore. They'd been called here by a dispatch almost reluctant to speak. A voice, barely audible, had reported something near the old railway crossing. A girl whispering, alone, with no one around. The dispatcher's tone hinted at disbelief. Tom didn't share that. Years in Gray Ridge had taught him that whispers in the night were usually warnings. The town itself sat in silence. Gray Ridge wasn't large. Roughly 2,000 souls, scattered houses, a general store that doubled as a post office, and a forgotten railway line. Its biggest claim to fame was that nothing ever happened here. Until tonight. Tom pulled the car to a slow stop near the crossing. The rails gleamed faintly under his headlights, stretching into the dark like an iron promise. The air smelled of rain yet to come, pine needles, and something faintly metallic. Rex stepped out quietly, his paws making no sound on the gravel. Tom followed, hand on his sidearm, eyes scanning the gloom. From somewhere ahead came it, the faintest sound of breathing, not wind. Tom froze. Rex stiffened, his nose lowered, breathing deep and slow. Then came the whisper, "Help me." It was not loud. It was almost swallowed by the night. Tom's heart tightened. He stepped forward. "Who's there?" There was no answer, only another whisper, this one trembling. Rex barked low, a deep rumble, then bolted ahead. Tom cursed under his breath and followed, boots crunching over gravel and dirt. Through the fog and trees, he saw her. A girl, no more than 16, crouched near the rusted rails. Her dress was torn, soaked through, clinging to her frame. Her hair stuck to her face, strands damp with rain. She was trembling, not from cold alone, but from something deeper. Fear, desperation. "Hey," Tom said gently. "It's okay. You're safe now." She looked up slowly. Her eyes, wide, glistening, locked on his. There was something strange in them. Not just fear, but urgency. A warning. Her lips moved again, the words almost lost in the wind. "The line, it's going to—" She stopped. Her voice broke. Rex moved to her side, his head low. She whispered directly to him. Tom froze. She wasn't speaking to him. She was speaking to the dog. "What did you say?" Tom asked, stepping closer. But the girl only shook her head. Her gaze darted toward the forest beyond the crossing. Something unseen lingered there, something she couldn't name. Tom knelt beside her. "My name's Sergeant Grayson. Can you tell me what happened?" She swallowed hard, her lips quivering. They've been here. They've been watching. It's not safe." Her voice cracked, the words choked by tears. Before Tom could ask more, Rex barked sharply and moved toward the tracks, nose to the ground. The sound was a warning. Tom followed, shining his flashlight ahead. Beneath the rails, something glinted in the beam, a device, small, metal, and strange. It pulsed faintly with an unnatural glow. Tom's breath caught. He crouched to inspect it. It was no ordinary piece of trash. Something about it felt deliberate, dangerous. He radioed dispatch. "Command, I've got something here. A possible device near the crossing. Send backup. There was static, then silence. The girl's eyes widened further. They'll come back. They know I spoke to him. She pointed at Rex, her voice trembling. He knows. He can stop it. Tom glanced at her, then back at Rex. The dog stood perfectly still, gaze fixed on the forest. There was something about his posture that made Tom's stomach tighten. This was not a routine call. A low rumble sounded in the distance. It wasn't thunder. It was mechanical, something underground. The rails vibrated faintly under Tom's boots. The girl grabbed his arm. Her grip was sudden, fierce. You have to trust him. Tom looked at her. Trust who? Her lips parted as if to speak, but a sharp sound broke the moment. A voice in the dark. Not hers. Not Tom's. A voice that seemed to come from the woods. Low, distorted, almost inhuman. Rex barked again, harder this time, ears flat. He charged toward the sound, dragging the girl with him. Tom drew his weapon and followed. As he ran through the mist and pine, the air grew heavier. There was something in the scent now, copper, rust, and something far more sinister. The girl was ahead, her whispers carried by the wind, but Tom could no longer understand them. They sounded like fragments of a warning he wasn't ready to hear. The forest opened to a clearing. There, beneath the twisted remains of the old signal tower, Rex stopped dead. The girl fell to her knees, sobbing quietly. Tom approached, heart pounding. Before he could speak, Rex stepped forward, nose to the ground. His teeth were bared, growling softly. Tom saw it then. On the collapsed beams of the tower lay a structure, something unnatural, buried and breathing faintly. The girl whispered again, louder this time. It's them. They're inside. Tom took a deep breath, the world narrowing to that moment. Somewhere in the darkness, the real danger was waking, and Gray Ridge had no idea what was coming. The air in the clearing felt thick, heavy with something Tom couldn't name. The rain had started now, slow at first, like a breath, then heavier, drumming on the leaves. The scent of wet earth mixed with copper and oil. Somewhere beneath the broken signal tower, something stirred. Tom lowered his flashlight slightly, letting his eyes adjust. Rex remained motionless, his body tense like a coiled spring. The girl sat curled in the mud, shivering, her gaze fixed on the thing beneath the debris. She wasn't crying anymore. Now she whispered to Rex. Tom crouched beside her. What is it? What's under there? She shook her head slowly, lips trembling. I don't know how to say it. It's not just metal. It breathes. Tom glanced at the device he'd found earlier. It was gone. In its place, the ground was disturbed. Soil upturned, rail ties broken. The air felt wrong. His training told him this was no ordinary incident. Who's been watching you? Tom asked gently. Her eyes darted toward the trees. She swallowed hard. They want it back, and they'll destroy the town if they have to. The words landed like stones. Tom glanced around. Gray Ridge had no army, no secret police, nothing that could handle something like this. Yet here was Rex, standing guard, growling softly, like he understood far more than he should. A movement in the trees caught his attention. Not wind, not animal. Something deliberate, something human. Footsteps, slow and careful. Tom drew his weapon. Stay behind me. Rex barked, low and warning, his hackles rising. The girl flinched. Tom stepped forward, flashlight cutting a path through the fog. From the shadows, a figure emerged. A man, tall, drenched in rain, face hidden beneath a hood. His boots were mud-caked, his movements deliberate. There was something about him, a stillness that felt unnatural. Sergeant Grayson, the man said softly, voice gravelly. You shouldn't be here. Tom leveled his weapon. Who are you? The man lifted his head. His eyes were pale, unnervingly pale, and locked on Tom's. I'm the one who tried to stop it. Tom's mind raced. Stop what? The thing under the tower, the man said, glancing at the girl and Rex. It doesn't belong here, and if it awakens fully, Gray Ridge won't survive the night. The girl gasped, clutching Rex's collar. "I told you." Tom looked between them. "Explain." The man stepped closer, but Rex growled sharply, stepping protectively in front of the girl. "This is dangerous," the man said. "You don't understand. It's not just a device. It's a key, a beacon, and someone is using it." "Using it for what?" Tom asked. "To open something," the man replied, his voice low. "Something sleeping for 100 years beneath this town." Tom swallowed hard. "Why haven't you told the police?" The man's gaze hardened. "Because they wouldn't believe me. Because they would bury it. And time is running out." The girl spoke then, her voice barely above a whisper. "They're coming. Tonight." Tom's hand tightened on his weapon. The wind rattled the broken tower above them, carrying a faint mechanical hum. Rex barked again, louder this time, then darted toward the tower's ruins. The man's face tightened. "You don't understand," he said. "Rex can sense it. The beacon is alive, and so is it." Tom moved toward the tower, eyes scanning the shadows. Underneath the twisted beams, there was a faint glow, pulsing like a heartbeat. The air itself seemed to vibrate. Suddenly, the ground shuddered. A deep groan echoed from beneath the tower. The girl screamed, clutching her head. Rex barked furiously, pulling toward the glow. Tom fired a warning shot into the air. "Stay back." The man stepped forward, voice urgent. "We don't have time for that. We have to destroy it before they arrive." "Who?" Tom asked, keeping his weapon ready. The man didn't answer. His eyes were fixed on the glow beneath the tower. The girl whispered again to Rex. This time, her voice was steady, commanding. Rex obeyed without hesitation, diving into the debris. Tom cursed under his breath and followed. The air was warmer now, almost suffocating. His boots sank into wet soil and twisted metal. Then he saw it. Not a machine, not a bomb. Something organic. A mass of metallic tendrils, slick and pulsating, intertwined with wires. It breathed slowly, emitting a faint hum that resonated deep inside Tom's chest. It was alive and aware. The man moved beside him, placing a hand on the structure. "It's old, older than anything we've recorded. Whoever made this wanted to hide it forever." Tom glanced at him. "And now someone has found it." The man nodded grimly. "They've been tracking it for years. And tonight they come for it." The sound came then, low at first, then rising. Footsteps, many footsteps, coming closer, from all directions. Tom's radio crackled to life. Static first, then a voice. "Sergeant Grayson, what's happening out there? We're picking up unusual readings near the crossing." Tom didn't answer. He couldn't. His attention was fixed on the forest edge. Shapes moved between the trees, tall, silent, watching. The girl clutched Rex, whispering to him again. The dog stiffened, growling low. The man turned to Tom. "We have to act now. Seal it before they reach us." Tom hesitated. The glow beneath the tower pulsed stronger, as if aware of the approaching danger. He glanced at the girl. Her face was pale, her voice steady despite her fear. "Rex will lead you. Trust him." Tom's breath caught. He had no choice. Rex stepped forward again, leading them toward the glow. The man followed, pulling a small device from his coat, a strange tool engraved with symbols Tom didn't recognize. The steps grew louder. Shadows moved closer. The clearing seemed to shrink. Tom's heart hammered. Somewhere deep inside, he knew the night was about to change Grey Ridge forever, and not everyone would survive. The air was alive with sound now, not wind, not rain, but a low, rhythmic pounding, like a heartbeat. The clearing seemed smaller in the darkness, pressed in by the trees, by something unseen. Tom's boots sank into mud as Rex led him toward the tower ruins, the glow beneath pulsing brighter with each step. The man moved quickly behind them, the strange tool clutched in both hands. The girl stayed close to Rex, whispering softly. Her voice was calm now, almost reverent. Tom couldn't make out the words, but the dog responded as if to a command older than language. From a forest edge came movement, hundreds of shapes, dark figures stepping forward in silence. Tom's breath caught. They weren't armed like soldiers. Their motions were unnatural, their presence oppressive. The kind of presence that didn't belong to living things. The man stopped, placing the device against the metallic tendrils beneath the tower. It began to hum loudly, a high-pitched resonance that made Tom's teeth ache. Sparks danced across the structure. The glow pulsed violently. "They're here," the man said without looking at Tom. "And they won't let it go." The girl's whisper rose, urgent and clear now. Rex barked sharply, lunging forward. Tom drew his weapon, training it on the shadows closing in, but no sound came from him. Fear had stripped it from his voice. Then the first figure stepped into the light, tall, faceless, with skin that seemed to absorb the glow rather than reflect it. Tom's stomach turned. They moved without sound, without breath, eyes locked on the tower, as if drawn by some signal. "Seal it," the girl said, her voice stronger now. "Before they break through." The man tightened his grip on the tool. "It won't hold unless—" He stopped. His eyes widened. Behind them, the forest shifted. Something massive moved there, something alive and breathing. Rex growled low, his body trembling. The dog stepped forward, growl becoming a bark of warning. The girl's hand rested gently on his neck. "Now," she said softly. The man struck the device against the metal tendrils. The structure shuddered, the pulsing glow turning white-hot. The figures at the forest edge paused, their bodies stiffening. The air around them rippled, as if reality itself was bending. Then they advanced. Tom opened fire, shots tearing through the silence. The figures fell, dissolving into smoke when hit, but more came, dozens now closing in. The pounding heartbeat grew louder, almost deafening. The ground under the tower cracked. The glow flared into a blinding light. The man screamed something in a language Tom couldn't recognize. The girl shouted too, and Rex barked in furious warning. The air felt alive, trembling with energy. Tom realized the tower itself was a doorway, and whatever lay beyond was waking. The first figure touched the tendrils. They recoiled instantly as if burned. The man's voice rose, chanting in that strange language. The girl moved closer to Rex, her whispers louder now. Tom realized she wasn't speaking to him. She was directing Rex. The dog stepped forward and plunged his head into the glowing tangle. There was a scream, not human, not animal. The tendrils writhed violently, the light exploding outward. Tom was thrown backward by a shockwave. When he rose, the clearing was empty. The glow was gone. The rain had stopped. The forest was still. Rex stood beside the girl, chest heaving, eyes fixed on the ruins. The man lay collapsed, breathing hard, eyes closed. Tom ran to him. "What happened?" The man opened his eyes briefly. "It's sealed for now." He coughed blood. "But it will call again." His hand dropped limply. Tom knew he was gone. The girl stood, looking at Tom with an expression that was part relief, part sorrow. "You saw it," she said softly. "You have to remember." Tom shook his head. What was it? Her voice was almost a whisper. Something they tried to bury, and they failed. "But Rex," he stopped it tonight. She knelt beside the dog, stroking his head. "You don't owe us answers, Sergeant, but you owe him your trust." Tom looked at Rex, whose gaze was steady and unreadable. The dog turned, glancing once toward the forest, then back to Tom. His eyes held something almost human, gratitude, warning, and something unsaid. The girl began to walk away, fading into the mist. Tom called after her, but she didn't turn. Rex followed her silently. Tom stayed where he was, staring at the tower ruins, rain dripping from his coat. Somewhere in the distance, the hum began again, faint, like a heartbeat in the earth. Grayridge slept, unaware that the night had changed forever. And somewhere, in shadow, something was waking.